Yeah, tribality and in general the word tribe, at least for me, it's something that withholds some kind of magic, a kind of a disappearing wisdom that maybe it sounds a bit primitive, something that existed in the past, a wisdom that existed between people, and we in the Western world kind of lost it. And we decided to have this talk due to the publication of a book written by an American journalist. His name is Sebastian Junger, who dedicated most of his life to being in very dangerous places in Afghanistan during the fights there, in Sarajevo. And when he came back from there, then one of the most powerful impressions that he had is the feeling of tribality. Even though that he didn't meet any tribe there, but there was this feeling of brothers in arms, and it evoked a certain feeling in him that he felt the need to write a book about it. And he's trying to answer the question, what did we lose as people by turning away from tribality, which is something very basic and fundamental for us as human beings? And he continues and tells that one of the phenomena which he has discovered is that when he came back from the battlefield, and even though that there things were really dangerous, he was in life-threatening situations, missiles flying over his head, and actually there he felt very calm. And when he came back to New York, the big city, there he started feeling anxiety and depression and post-traumatic stress. And when he looked into it, he found out that what caused him and many other Americans probably to feel that way is that there is this brotherly feeling of togetherness when they're in the field, and when everyone goes back to their home, suddenly they start feeling anxiety and depression because they no longer feel that special feeling that they felt there, and again they feel some kind of emptiness. He said that it took him almost a year to overcome this state, and this is also something that he speaks about elaborately in the book. The first question we'd like to ask you is maybe first of all try and understand, what is that tribality? Why do we, as human beings, why did we naturally divide into tribes? Why did we live that way? We came from the womb of nature, and we came out as a couple that multiplied into more and more couples, and all of these couples that came from the first couple, they never disconnected from each other, because there is a connection between the generations, children, grandchildren. I love my children, but my children love my grandchildren, and so on and so forth. The love for the second generation is greater than for the first generation. We have to research all these things, but this is how it is. We also see it from life. And it really connects us. I'm not thinking about my kids that are abroad, but I do think about their little children. That's how it is, and it really ties the generations. In our times, we can't see this, but people are also very close to aunts, uncles, cousins, and so on and so forth. And we're built this way that we have to keep on living this way. Were it not for our ego that's distancing us, separating us, and when our ego starts celebrating, growing, it disconnects our natural ties, and instead of them, puts a kind of connection of go and live off each other. And then instead of being connected by the heart, we're starting to look at things in terms of how do I tie my pocket with their pocket in order to benefit. Not in order to feel together in a good and nice way, a mutual kind of connection, which is a completely different kind of connection, as opposed to the connection of loss and gain. A simple, very direct, egoistic connection, only for myself. And it's no wonder that children, and especially today, don't feel their parents, but only to the extent to which they can use them. And the parents, due to their ego and because society is built this way, they don't really pay any attention to their children. They put them in some after-school activities. That's it. I gave you everything. Be well. We'll keep in touch by WhatsApp, so on. So it's not only that we don't feel as a tribe, as an extended family, we don't even feel the nuclear family. A person comes home from work, he's alone wherever he works, at the office and at home. He's alone. He's connected to other people through his mobile, through his TV maybe, some other screen, computer screen, something. He doesn't need anyone. We don't understand how much we have disconnected from the tribe, from the family, from the human society, from warmth by that. The only thing that we got as a result is that we have surrounded ourselves by iron walls, cold iron walls. And that's all there is. And really, when did it start? It started when our ego became more important than our natural ties. It began thousands of years ago, but it's this way nonetheless. We see it in many cases, in many countries, among many nations, and of course it all began in ancient Babylon. We already talked about that, and this is where it all developed from.